Thou shalt love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thine heart and with all thy soul, all thy might. This is the Shema. And let me take you to also.
Elder brother, you might need to repeat that.
Okay.
Sorry, we were missing sound.
Okay. For a second. Yeah, sometimes we have to go through, these things because, know the devil. He's always around the corner to try to destroy the Most High Word.
That's right.
Yeah, but let me go ahead and reread the Shema, which can be found in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4 and 5. Verse 4. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our Elohim is one other name, and thou shalt love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might. This is the Shema.
Praise Yah.
Yeah, praise Yah for it. And the Mashiach did a follow up and magnify. Magnify the law of the Most High, the Shema, which can be found in the book of Matthew, chapter 22. And we're going to pick it up at verse 34 through 40. Verse 34. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Verse 37. Yeshua said unto him, Thou shalt love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind.
Praise Yah.
Praise Yah. And this is the first and great commandment to all Israel. And the second also to the nation, who accept, the Most High. Right. Verse 39. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Because the word of Elohim is based on love. Verse 40. And these two commandments on all the law and the prophets. Praise Yah. Yeah. The next place I would like to take you is Matthew chapter 18. And read verse 20.
Okay.
For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them.
Praise Yah.
Yeah, so we don't have to have a big house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, brother.
Yeah.
We want the Mashiach, and we know he's here. Praise Yah.
Praise Yah for that.
Praise Yah.
Knowing that, he has given us his work to do, and we're going to do it the uttermost best.
That's right.
That's right.
The next verse I would like to take you, Isaiah 58,
okay,
verse 13 and 14. Verse 13, if thou turn away thy foot from the Shabbat, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day.
Okay, Yah's day.
Yah's day, Yahweh's day. That is the Shabbat. And call the Shabbat a delight, the holy of Yahweh, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words. Then shalt thou delight thyself in Yahweh, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of Yahweh has spoken.
Praise Yah, brother. Thank you, Elder Uriah, for going over those holy words. For they are indeed holy, because they proceed from the Most High.
Okay.
These prophets were holy men. They wrote these things not according to their will, but as the Holy Spirit moved them to write.
That's right.
So we're thankful to be able to read those words, brother. And I thank you. I know this brother literally come off the airplane today, literally, and made it here. but Yahweh gave him that strength to come straight from the airport and come here and to be with us so he can assist us in hopefully edifying the people and take care of Yahweh's business. His business has to be taken care of.
That's right.
You know what, my elder? That's the spirit Yahweh has put in this body to do his work.
That's right.
And we're going to do his work with all our might.
Hallelujah.
That's what the Sheba said.
All your might. All your might. And I'm just thankful to be found worthy to do something. You know, and we're thankful. Because he laid it out for us. Because none of us planned on actually doing this. This wasn't a plan. The Holy Spirit put this together. So all I can say is, once I recognized that Spirit speaking to me, and then he put like-minded souls together. Oh, praise Yah, we're here. I'm happy to be here. It's a delight. What we just read, but it's a delight. It's to be in Yahweh's Sabbath.
You know what, my elder? What I found out, traveling back and forth, our people out there, they are hungry. They need clean food to eat, my elder.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
They are like, I need something to eat. I don't need the regular meat because the regular meat is not moving me.
No, it's not.
I should go.
It's not.
Yeah.
And we have to be apt to teach and to be able to provide that food with them. Sometimes it's the spiritual. This is what did we say? That's what Yahshua said. I got what?
I mean, to eat that they know not of.
That's right.
But he's also prophesied. He said, Yahweh said there's going to be a famine in the land.
That's what I meant. Praise Yah.
He said not for bread, but for the word of Yah.
Praise
Yah. You're right on
the point, brother. And that's what it's about. It's a famine out here. People have had so much religion, so many doctrines, and we understand it can be difficult hearing because people have gone. They become waxed tired of hearing, as Yahshua said. They've heard one sect after another, one group after another.
You got a lot of deceivers out here.
And that's my point. That's my point. That's the bottom line. And so when you see that in your new moon, we talk about that. They may not be calling themselves Christ or Messiah, but they are leading people astray.
Absolutely.
And that's woe to those pastors.
That's right.
Woe to them. Because these are the things that we need to be mindful of. So here, Yahweh is giving us this platform to read out of the book, to discuss the things as the Spirit gives us. So you can read along with us. And that's what we're about. We want to do those things.
Not our own words. Start with that, man.
No, you put that.
You're not our own words, man.
No.
Yeah, because the flesh is no good.
The flesh is no good. It's not reliable. You can't rely on the flesh. It's going to let you down.
Every time.
Because I'm speaking my words. Well, guess what? My words will fall. I can't speak something. It's going to come to pass. We got a book like this that's been around. Yahweh's preserved this book, thousands of years old.
Thousands of years.
And his word don't come back to him void, right?
No, sir.
So who are you going to go along with? We're going to go along with somebody freestyling on the mic, preaching, talking about what they want to do, and they can't point to the book. Or if they point to the book, they cherry picking it and they showing you one perspective instead of putting everything in context. So when we started this platform, this ministry, Yahweh gave a spirit. Now go to the beginning. What did you say, all right, when you talk about how should we approach it? And what did you say? You said go to the what?
Where you start?
Well, yeah.
You said go to the where you start the book at.
Yeah.
You looked at me like I was crazy. I said, well, do you go to the end of the book? Go ahead and tell. You don't want to talk about it now. You don't go to the end of the book and start, do you? Or the middle.
If you do, you have some problems.
You have some problems.
Yeah.
You go to the beginning of the book.
That's why many of our people they wrestle with the writings of our apostles. They have a problem because they have no clue what the law is saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they have been given bits and pieces and taken out of context.
Mm-hmm.
But again, before we jump into our class,
You may need to reintroduce the. We were having technical difficulties and we were missing sound, so they might need to just let them know the title again.
okay, I can do that. No problem, my brother. Thank you, Obadiah. Again, we apologize for those technical difficulties. The Sabbath class discussion for the day is entitled Yaakov, the Covenant Continues. Yaakov, or Jacob, the Covenant Continues.
Mm-hmm.
And it is continuing because we started this series, this aspect from Father Abraham, part 1, 2, 3, and 4, from Abraham to Isaac.
That's right.
And I think that was 2 parts. And now we are dealing with our father Jacob.
That's right.
You know, and so we're going to start there. But before I begin, before we begin our discussion, I want to make a clarification and a correction on the record. Was it last Sabbath?
Yes, sir.
It was last Sabbath. We were talking, the discussion was about the light, that creation, that light was not the sun, but that was the word, that was the law, that was the order that Yahweh spoke into existence. And we proved that because the sun was created later.
Right.
And I think I said either the 3rd or 4th day, but I wasn't sure at that time, and I may have went with the 3rd day. I don't know, but we don't want any confusion. The sun, Yahweh created the sun on the 4th day, and we can go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 14, and I just want to read it. I'm going to read it, okay? And again, Genesis, the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 14. And Elohim said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Elohim made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, right? And the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And Elohim set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. Now, and that was the 4th day. That's that greater light by the day, that's the sun. And that lesser light by night, that's the moon.
That's right.
And Yahweh created the stars also.
Okay.
And that's when you look up in heaven, as we talked about in the creation, right? When we first discussed this, when you look in the sky, that's the heaven. It's not the heaven of heavens. That's the first heaven. That's the firmament. Everything's in the firmament. The atmosphere that you see, the stars, the moon, that's all in the firmament. But there's something above the firmament, right? Because there's a barrier. The firmament divides the what?
Waters from the waters.
Exactly. You just say that again, brother? Say it loud.
The waters from the waters.
That's right. When you go back to our class. So there's waters below. We got our oceans and rivers, right? Below the firmament.
Spring.
But above that firmament, there are waters. And then, you know, there's another level, the second heaven. Then you got the first heaven, right? Where Yahweh Elohim.
And the 3rd day with my brother. Praise Him.
See that?
But you know what? You talk about creation, and all these things, make up the glory of Yahweh.
Okay. Praise
They
Yahweh.
glorify Yahweh the Most High.
That's right.
In their unique way.
That's right.
You don't have to praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh, man.
Yeah.
You're right. We got to sanctify
He
Him.
says, let everything that has breath praise Him.
Right, everything that has breath. See, Yahweh must be glorified because you can't say that when you wake up, that's a miracle. When you get up in the morning, that's a miracle. And when that breath of life is still in you, that's a blessing. But that breath of life first came into Adam, that man, that first man. He became a living soul, a living being, that body. He does not have a spirit.
So it's not 3.
No. Say that again?
It's not 3.
It's
Some
not.
people say it's 3.
It's 3.
A lot of people believe it's 3. They say you got to They follow that Greek theology
Okay.
about the soul, the body, and the mind.
Right.
All
Well, I'm glad you brought that up.
Spirit.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, OB, when you bring that up, that's what we understand. Where do we get these notions from? That's from the Greeks.
Yeah.
That's and the other nations. They all believe in a disembodying spirit, the afterlife. The Egyptians believed in that. The Book of the Dead, that they needed to take their possessions and certain things with them so that they would be able to live and function in the afterworld. But going off to heaven is not a notion. Dying and going to heaven is not part of the Hebraic cosmology. That's not what we believe in. That's not there. We're talking about a resurrection of the dead. But now you mentioned third heaven. Well, who's in the? If Yahweh's in the third heaven, who's with Yahweh in the third heaven now? Who's there?
The Mashiach sitting at his right hand.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
He's been in all.
Yeah.
He didn't create, but all since he is the Son and such this new being, and Yahweh glorified him, so that the creation of everything is imputed to him because he is the Son.
Yes.
So therefore, the angels have to bow down and worship him and give him that proper benevolence. So he's not the creator, but he's getting all the benefit. Yahweh said, no, he's my son. Heaven, all power
is given unto him.
In heaven and earth, and given to him.
That's right.
So you got to understand what that means.
He said in Psalms, sit on my right hand until I make thy enemy thy footstool.
So who was talking? That was Yahweh talking. Telling him that.
That's
right.
That's right.
But as you read this book, he got to get a kingdom.
Of course.
He has to have a kingdom.
How can you have a king without a kingdom?
That's right.
Yeah, that's somebody to rule over.
Right? So he's making that to make his image his footstool. The earth, the kingdoms of the earth, the heathen now are raging around the world. The heathens, the Gentiles, they are fighting among themselves now.
What's going on now?
You see? Yahweh is controlling everything.
People fretting too.
They fret.
There's a lot going on.
They got nuclear weapons. This World War III, what's going to become of us? What's going to become of us?
Yeah.
Well, the answer's right here in this book.
Praise God.
The answer's already Yahweh declared the end from the beginning.
And you know Yahweh don't do anything unless he informs his folks.
There it is. There it is.
Praise
You don't do nothing until his promise.
That's right.
And they got it. All that we're supposed to know, it's been written down. You feel me? I think that's a awesome thing. So we don't have to fear. But then again, what about the death wrath? Should we be? What's your mind on that?
I mean, that's a fearful day. I mean, but what is there to fear? I fear Yahweh, and I fear what He will do to me if I don't be obedient to the commandments and to the things that He's given me to do.
Wow.
If he said, Yeshua said, take no thought for your life. What can I do about it regardless?
Wow.
I mean, it's going to come. He said it's going to be a terrible day. So I don't look forward to it. I pray that Yahweh, I be found worthy to make it there.
Right.
And to the spirit of His wrath. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm. That's what I feel.
That's the wrath. Wait,
you know what that is, my brother. Is pretty much the beginning of knowledge. You start heeding, to the word of Yahweh. You start walking in righteousness. That's it, the fear of Yahweh.
Man, I think that's the most. You got to have that fear because He's going to. It's a day of darkness and gloom, and we act like it's going to be a summer camp.
Right.
We loading on the boats and just getting out of here, going through the wilderness. Well, that's as you said, these are the beginning of things.
Yes.
So it's like a cake. Brother used the illustration in his new moon. It's a cake. Yahshua broke it down, but there's an ingredient to make that cake. You just can't throw it all in there at one time.
No.
This comes first. This comes second. This comes third. You got to follow the instruction. There is a process. It's a process.
That's what you're saying to us.
That's right. It's a process.
And all of us have to follow, each step after the other, instructed by the Most High.
Exactly. And if you don't believe in instruction, but this is the book of instruction, the Torah. Torah means what? Instruction. Let's see, can we find it in the, because sometimes we use words and we don't always, let's see if it's in this, I'm going to look in this Zondervan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary for a minute. Let's see.
But you know what, my brother?
While we're talking about Torah,
we maybe spend a long time in slavery.
Right.
But Yahweh have this Eden to prepare and to store these things for us.
That's right.
So when we, pop out of that slavery thing, no, we are captive in the land right now.
Right.
But He has set us free to read all these things and to understand.
That's beautiful.
I'm telling you, man.
I mean, when you look at it, we're
crazy, man.
Because we haven't been taught this by the slave masters. We have not been taught this by the missionaries, Christian missionaries, or any denomination. So Yahweh has set up teachers that allow us to get the information that we have, the knowledge. We're not claiming that we woke up one morning with this information. We've been taught. Yahweh put us in the spirit to spend time in His book, to spend time doing those things.
That's right.
But He gets the glory.
In all things.
Absolutely. Man.
Now, the word Torah, when we talk about the Torah, that's the book of Moses, right?
That's right.
But it says, it's defined as Torah, or Torah, Hebrew, I can't pronounce that, Torah, but it says direction, instruction, law. The common Hebrew word for law. So rendered over 200 times in the Old Testament. It is used for human instruction, but it usually expresses divine law. So Torah is direction and guidance from God or from Elohim. Its emphasis is on the purpose of the guidance rather than the origin of it. But authoritative direction means law. Thus, other words, covers special kinds of laws, such as judgments and statutes. Torah is the overall term, the supreme law. So when we look at things, like you said, you might hear, probably for this reason, the entire Pentateuch became known as the Torah. So take the time and look up these words. That's what we're telling you. Don't just go based on, you hear us say something, and go back and look it up. Invest in this. Can we see this again? Invest in one of these. This is the Zondervan Pictorial Dictionary. Invest in this for yourself. We got at this table, we got a PepNet. We do this from time to time, just to show you the resources. We got the Strong's Concordance. Uriah is big on making sure you understand what the Hebrew words mean. We try to get a good meaning so you can have accurate understanding when you're reading. But we all have these tools. And
trying to really answer that, my elder brother. Each word in there, they explain in full details.
Right.
The context, how they use those words in certain paragraph or certain sentence.
Exactly, and that's important. And we got another one here. This is the Holman Illustrated Bible Dictionary. We showed you the Zondervan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary. This is the Holman Illustrated Bible Dictionary, right? So there are resources out here. The Gentile Christians, they did this work.
That's right.
So you don't have to go back, as the brother alluded to. Our people, Israel, was scattered to the four corners of the world. And we over here, we were in captivity. We could not keep, that was part of the curse. We were not going to be able to do what we're doing. But he preserved this for a time.
For a time.
So
for the fourth generation.
They're all now.
Oh, man.
Now you're messing with me. That's right. That fourth generation. That's what Genesis Abraham, Genesis 15. We talked about that.
That's right. So it's characters. Yahweh has a story. He's written a story, and he's chosen the characters. So he has the nations look at the role that they played. He used them to preserve the word. Imagine if no one preserved the word. We have to really be considerate and look at all aspects. Consider all parts of the. It's like when you have a discussion, you consider the whole matter.
Exactly, man. You have to have that big picture because when we're talking about when you mentioned the time that we're in now. We may not know, but it is a famine in the land. But then let's go there. I want to go there, and I want to read before we jump into the discussion. This is in the book of Amos, chapter 8, and Yahweh is got again problems with Israel by their disobedience, right? In the book of Amos, and this is during the time I think of the high priest Amaziah, I think at this time. But in Amos, I'm gonna go ahead. You want me to read it, or you want to do that? Go ahead and read it. Can you read it over?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and read that to verse 13. And let's just see what's going on.
Where Amos? What?
Yeah, chapter 8, verse 1. We're in the book of Amos, chapter 8, and we're just lambasting the term we talked about, a famine in the land, but not of food or bread or water.
That's right.
But of the word of Yah. Well, that comes out of the book of Amos, chapter 8. So we're going to read that, and as that brother's reading, listen to Yahweh's complaint against his people. You, so-called Black Americans, Caribbean Americans, in the Caribbeans, in South America. But we're the people of the book. I know it's hard to believe, but it is the truth. But if you're ready,
yes,
I know you're doing a lot over there.
We're ready. The Amos chapter 8, verse 1. Thus hath Yahweh Elohim showed unto me, and behold, a basket of summer fruit. And he said, Amos, what seest thou? And I said, a basket of summer fruit. Then said Yahweh unto me, the end is come upon my people of Israel.
Okay.
I will not pass again by them any more. And the songs of the temple shall be howlings in that day, saith Yahweh Elohim. There shall be many dead bodies in every place. They shall cast them forth with silence. Hear this, O you that swallow up the needy, even to make the poor of the land to fail, saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn, and the Sabbath, that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by deceit.
Pause right there.
Yes, sir.
See, Yahweh gave us a spirit to keep the new moon. But you see right there, and these Shabbats. And some of you today, let's be real. When we tell you you're supposed to keep the Sabbath, right, and keep it holy, well, you've been raised in the tradition of first day worship, right? But you can't find first day worship. We're not Christians. We're not that. That wasn't. There's no Christianity in the Bible. It's to keep the Sabbath day.
That's right.
To keep it holy. But what were our fathers doing? I can't wait till sundown. I can't wait till this new moon is over, so I can get back to making money doing my pleasure. Right. What did you read in Isaiah 58, brother?
Turn away from thy arm.
Let's go there. And we're going to hold your place there, brother. Because we're going to show you this is why we're in America.
Right? Isaiah 58, verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from following the Shabbat, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Shabbat a delight, the holy of Yahweh honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words.
Now, that seems very clear to me. That's the prophet Isaiah, right?
Yep.
So now you see the prophet Amos is showing you that our fathers didn't have the right spirit.
That's right. That's right.
They had the spirit to worship Yahweh in spirit and truth. There was something that it was there, but they didn't have it. They ready to get through. The prophet said, y'all ready to, well, I hope this new moon's over. We can sell corn.
Right.
You want to go back to doing what? Your pleasure.
Your pleasure.
But Yahweh is the one that gives you the strength to make wealth and to get the things that you want for your pleasure.
That's
But
right.
you forgetting who the one that got you able to have that good job.
That's right.
The one that got you able to do the things you do. to take vacations or whatever, to make that money.
Mm.
The only thing he's asking for us to do, remember the Sabbath day.
To keep it over.
That's right.
6 days shall I labor and do all that work.
But the Sabbath day is the seventh day is the Sabbath for Yahweh.
Elohim. In it, thou shalt do what? No work. Any work, no work. See, and here we are seeing brother the prophet Amos speaking on these things.
That's right.
And Yahweh is saying, I'm tired of Israel. What you've been doing. Look at, go ahead. I don't know if you want to say anything.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't mean to cut you off, but you continue
No,
reading.
no, we're good. Verse 6, that we may buy the poor for silver, and the needy for a pair of shoes.
Wow.
Yea, and sell the refuse of the wheat. Yahweh has sworn by the excellency of Yaakov.
Okay.
Surely I will never forget any of their works. Shall not the land tremble for this, and everyone mourn that dwelleth therein? And it shall rise up wholly as a flood, and it shall be cast out and drowned, as by the flood of Egypt. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh Elohim, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon.
Okay.
And I will darken the earth in the clear day. And I will turn your feasts into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation. And I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins, and baldness upon every head. And I will make it as the morning of an only son, and the end thereof as a bitter day. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh Elohim, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst.
Okay.
They that swear by the sin of Samaria, and say, Thy God, O Dan, liveth. The manner of Beersheba liveth. Even they shall fall, and never rise again.
Praise Yah. So when we read this prophecy and read these words, we know we're looking at duality.
That's right.
Near time and far time.
That's
so
right.
Here we are in this far time. This has been going on for the last 400 years in America. There's a famine. Yahweh's word is not here. But Yahweh in these latter days, he's allowed his saints to come into the truth.
That's what Paul said in part.
In part. So we're able now to go in here and tell you, seek Yahweh while he can be found. Get into this word because things are going to be coming in this land. It's going over in the Ukraine now. Don't think it can't happen here. It's going to happen. Things are going to you're going to need to know when that money, when you can't get to that bank and nobody's bringing food in fast enough, you at that time, don't be careful. That's all I can say.
We're going to read it.
We're going to read it.
We got an example in the book of Genesis when he talks about in Egypt, money failed.
Exactly.
Right?
What do you do?
What do you do when money fails? You know, in wartime, the money ain't worth nothing.
You got to borrow
paper.
Right.
You know, if you didn't have gold or silver, you were stuck.
You're stuck.
You know, and this is prevalent even today in many countries.
Yep.
You know,
and that's why there's a worry in the world. What if this affects the dollar? What if this affects this? You know, how can we get gas? Is gas going to go? Is it going to be super inflation?
Oh, it's going.
Is it going to be this way? What am I going to do? Well, our Elohim don't play. And he says something, well, why you kind of calling on me now? Call on the other gods you've been calling on. Let them save you. So, but if you're seeking him with all your heart, mind, and soul, you know, he's not going to forsake you. That's up in Deuteronomy 4. But you got to seek him. I can't seek him for you. Obi can't seek Yahweh for you. Uriah can't seek Yahweh for you. You got to do the seeking. Only thing that we got to do, using that term as a watcher or brothers, disciples of the Mashiach, is to tell you to plant a seed. And whether you hear or forbear, that's your business.
That's right.
We don't, but if we don't say something, your blood's on our head. So he gave us this ministry, right?
That's right.
So we got to talk about it. But if you can see these things happening, a famine, not of bread, you know, and not of thirst for water, but of the, what is it? Shema. Yeah, it's right. Hearing, but of the hearing the words of Yahweh. Going back to that Shema. Hearing. Man, when you hear his word, that thing brings life into you.
That's right.
It's life. That's the light. But again, brother, do you want anything? I know you was looking for. I want to make sure.
No, I was, you know, when I look in the Beatitude,
Okay.
you know, in the book of Matthew chapter 5.
Okay.
You know, I'm just gonna, you know, like, you know, when you read things, you go over and over.
That's right.
Man, this spirit just bring back these words.
Praise Yah.
You know, to you, man.
Does.
You know, the Mashiach said, I'm just going to read verse 3. He said,
So wait, let's make sure where you are. Where are you now?
Matthew chapter 5.
Okay.
I'm just going to read verse 3, man.
Okay.
Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of Elohim. Knowing that when the time comes, really comes, man, only the poor, you know, that is in spirit is going to survive, man. Right. Because money cannot help you anymore.
Right, right. And I think that's what we were talking about earlier. I mentioned before you arrived home, we were talking about time to fast and pray over things, over concerns. You got things going on. You want Yahweh to hear you, and you got a heaviness on some specifics. You afflict that body, you afflict that soul, that body and soul. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't give it the food. You don't give it that water. You're saying, I'm going to let the Spirit control me now, because I want Yahweh to hear me. And there's going to come a point. See, we can't play around with this book. It's fashionable. You might post stuff on Facebook, posting things here and there, but listen, it's coming a time where the rubber is going to meet the road.
I love the way you put it by here.
Yes, sir.
Robbers is going to meet the road.
The rubber's going to meet the road soon.
Yeah.
And we're going to see, don't be caught out there naked. And I'm not saying physically. I mean spiritually. Because we don't know what we're going to do when the test comes. Right? Or when the trial comes.
But you know what, one advice I maybe, will give is, don't be afraid to get on your knees, man, and cry to the Most High.
That's right.
Open up to Him.
That's right.
Let those rivers flow non-stop. Because, appearance will always hear, their child.
Right.
When at least they are hurt. So don't be afraid to cry.
Don't be afraid. Because when you're up in here being cute, you better cry out to heaven. You better cry unto Yahweh. Because what was it? Because Yahweh may change his mind about the situation in your regard. That's right. And he did that with King Hezekiah, wasn't it?
That's right.
He said that. Somebody go find it in a minute. But Isaiah. He sent Isaiah to the king.
Yeah.
And say, buddy, get your affairs in order.
Oh yeah.
You're getting ready to die.
That's right.
Yeah. And he said he couldn't believe it. Could you imagine that? The prophet walking there and tell you, or somebody you know today, walk up to you and say, hey man, Spirit told me to come over here and tell you something. What's that? Get your affairs in order.
Yeah.
Because you get ready to die.
That's right.
Yahweh getting ready to take you out. Get your house in order. What? But Yahweh, what did he do? That brother turned himself to the wall and cried.
Yahweh heard that cry.
Yahweh heard that cry.
That's right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? These are the things that when you walk with he's the living Elohim. And you got Yahshua as our high priest. You know what I mean? So he can make that intercession for you.
I know.
You're not going to be the one. You're not going to be the one doing it. It's going to be Yahweh.
Yeah.
But and Yahshua's there to make that intercession for you. And we don't know how all that goes in the heavenlies, right?
That's right.
But when you said that, I'm not afraid. I'm not ashamed to say it. I've had to break down your right.
Oh yeah.
I've been in some tights.
Yeah.
I've been through some things. I don't know about y'all. Where I had to call out. say, hey, help. If you don't come get me, I'm dead. If you don't help me, I'm serious.
Yeah.
If you don't get me, they don't rope me off. If you don't help me, what am I going to have a place to stay, Yahweh? And Yahweh's always faithful.
Yeah, I'm
He
telling
come
you.
right there and open the door for me.
We all have a testimony.
And it's a testimony.
Praise
So
God.
I want y'all to understand when prayer is.
That was 2 Kings.
Yeah, second chapter 20. Okay.
Y'all folks got it. Yeah, take a minute now. Y'all, we got it right. Second Kings chapter 20, right?
Yeah.
There. So let's go there. Let's read that. Anybody?
Ready, King. Let me figure it out.
2 Kings chapter 20. Okay, verse 1?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and read, brother.
Verse 1. In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death, and the prophet Isaiah the son of Amos came to him and said unto him, Thus said Yahweh, set thine house in order, for thou shalt die and not live.
See, some of y'all don't want to get a will. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Dying is a part of life.
Yeah.
So why don't you have a will? So your affairs can be in order when you go. You don't know where Yahweh may take you. Okay. But you don't leave your family all confused.
Yeah.
Get it set up. Do something. Have something set up. Yeah. That's in order. But Yahweh gave him a chance. The prophet came to him and said, get your man. That's deep.
Yeah, that's deep.
And this is Isaiah.
That's to show how much Yahweh care about him.
He cared about him to come tell him. Now I didn't see that part. You're right.
Yeah.
He showed him love.
Showed him love, but we still turn our back at it.
Exactly.
We kick Yahweh out of town.
Man, you're tough people.
Oh man. Okay, let's continue. Verse 2. Then he turned his face to the wall and prayed unto Yahweh, saying, I beseech thee, O Yahweh, remember now, I have walked before thee in truth,
all right,
and with a perfect heart.
There it is.
And have done that which is good in thy sight. And Hezekiah wept sore.
We pause right there. Now we know Yahweh's good. He's taking care of us in this captivity when we've been in different religions and things like that. Because but Yahweh's sovereign. He put us over here.
Yeah.
But now at least at this point, Hezekiah could at least say, well, Yahweh, I've tried to walk right before you. I've tried to do this. But see, that's what I want to be able to say. I don't know what may happen tomorrow or the next after we finish this Sabbath discussion, right? I want to be able to say, Yahweh, I've been doing the best I could. I tried to keep the commandments, and I know to you, that's just my duty.
Yeah.
But I am trying, as Yahshua say, I want to go above and beyond that.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So that you can call me a good servant.
That's right.
You know, and obviously he was able to what? Repeat. Yahweh, I've been what? I've got to walk before you in truth.
You know, the good thing about when it comes to us, this generation, you know, seeing and reading all about these things, man.
Yes, sir.
It gives us, a better hope to know what our forefathers have done not to do it.
That's right.
So all these things are learning, experience for us.
Instructions.
That's right. Think about it. Yeah. And that would enable us, to enter, have a better chance to enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Hallelujah.
Experience is not always the best teacher.
Oh.
We can learn from our fathers' mistakes.
Okay.
Man, you're so right.
Yeah.
Experience will tell you now. You've been old man, did all that. You made all the mistakes in the world. What kind of sense that made?
Yeah.
You didn't have some kind of wisdom. You got to have to listen to somebody tell you something. Yeah. That's wise.
And all will be said, man, the flesh is no good.
No, none.
That's right.
But at least we know. So we know, where to go from there.
That's right.
Verse 4. And it came to pass, afore Isaiah was gone out into the midcourt, that the word of Yahweh came to him, saying, Turn again, and tell Hezekiah, the captain of my people, Thus said Yahweh, the Elohim of David, thy father, I have heard thy prayer. I have seen thy tears.
What you just say? Let them tears go?
Yeah, let those tears go. Behold, I will heal thee. On the third day thou shalt go up unto the house of Yahweh.
Praise Yah.
And I will add unto thy days 15 years.
Hallelujah.
Praise Him. And I will deliver thee and this city out of the hands of the king of Assyria. And I will defend this city for mine own sake and for my servant David's sake.
Hallelujah. Keep on. Let's
Keep on.
Let's see. I think that
that kind of sum it up.
Yeah, sum it on up. Yeah. I think that's I think that let's go to 11. Read on.
Yeah, read it. Yeah, take
read 11, brother.
That's verse 7. And Isaiah said, take a lump of figs. And they took and laid it on the boil, and he recovered. And Hezekiah said unto Isaiah, what shall be the sign that Yahweh will heal me, and that I shall go up into the house of Yahweh the third day? And Isaiah said, this sign shall thou have of Yahweh, that Yahweh will do the thing that he had spoken. Shall the shadow go forward 10 degrees or go back 10 degrees?
Take the clock, time.
Yeah.
Right.
That's something?
Yeah, but you know what, man? You can see they still did not believe in Yahweh. He asked for a sign.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes but Yahweh didn't impute it against him, but yet and still, you're right.
Yeah.
We that kind of people.
Yeah.
Whether the Gentile seek knowledge and Israel seeks a sign.
Yeah.
We want to see something.
That's right.
We want to see something.
That's what Yahshua said. But the only sign you're going to see. What Yahshua said, but the only sign you're going to see is the sign of Noah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It'll come fast.
Right.
That's right. Verse 10. And Hezekiah answered, it is a light thing for the shadow to go down 10 degrees.
Right.
Nay, but let the shadow return backward 10 degrees. You know what, man? You want to try to make things hard for Yahweh. Like, oh, this is going to be difficult for her to do.
Right.
Yeah. Come on, man. Let's finish up at verse 11. And Hezekiah the prophet cried unto Yahweh. No, I'm sorry. Let me read that again. And Isaiah the prophet cried unto Yahweh, and he brought the shadow 10 degrees backward, by which it had gone down in the dial of Ahaz.
Right. And see, praise Yah for this. See, these are the miracles that our fathers experienced, the king experienced. But again, I was lambacking on what Brother Uriah had mentioned about prayer. You crying, the Spirit brought that to me to go, let's look at what Hezekiah did.
That's right.
Because you don't worship, Yahweh's real. You don't, people might say, oh, it's written down. But you don't know what, see, that's showing you everything. Yahweh can change his mind.
You know, look back at what Thomas said to the Messiah when he died and resurrected. You know, he said he wouldn't believe.
Right.
Right. Unless he saw the woman, thrust his hand in there.
Yeah.
You know, and the Christians call them doubting Thomas, right? But those are the things that we have to understand. That we have to seek out Yahweh and humble ourselves to him. Because he knows the difference between a broken heart and a contrite spirit.
Right.
Versus crocodile tears.
That's right.
Now you can make tears, you don't have no desire to change or to repent.
Right.
But you just got caught up in a bind.
Right.
Now we're not saying that. We're talking about crying when you are truly in need.
That's right.
And you're praying and you're in a situation or you have done something wrong.
Yeah.
You don't broke this law in a certain way.
That's right.
And you're seeking, and now that spirit of regret and sadness has come to you.
There's a difference between that and what was practiced by the Pharisees and scribes.
Oh, no, you're not. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
that's it. On the street.
Right.
Crying for everybody.
They did to be seen of men.
Right.
That they did.
Exactly.
Difference, right?
There was a Christian minister back in the day. I'm not going to mention his name, but he got caught up in adultery. And he was a big Southern guy. And he was just crying, I sin and tears. And got caught again at some other time. Got caught again saying that, that flesh, right? Yeah. So,
flesh is all good.
But okay, so at this time, again, we wanted to we clarified that problem with we did clarify that the sun was created on the fourth day, praise Yah, but we don't have a script here, so we try to go as the Spirit moves us. So now let's begin the Sabbath class discussion. And it is entitled, Jacob, the Covenant Continues. And we're going to go to the book of Genesis, chapter 28. Now, we read 28 last week, but we want to go over it again because this is about you seeing how the seed of Abraham, that promise made to Abraham, now with Isaac. Okay? So let's look at that again. And you guys want me to read? Or just, okay, you okay?
Yeah,
I want to make sure. I know you're tired, but you made it.
Oh, hey,
okay.
Man, look here,
make
man.
Sure
you just said, man, I believe that you don't even know.
Now you're talking.
Come on, man.
Now you're talking. That's my brother. That's my brother. So we're going to begin, Brother Elder. Uriah is going to begin from the book of Genesis, chapter 28. The class is Jacob, the Covenant Continues.
Okay. Genesis chapter 28, verse 1. And Esau called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Pandam Aram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. And Elohim Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people, and give thee the blessing of Abraham.
See that?
Yep.
That's important, people.
Of course. To thee and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which Elohim gave unto Abraham. And Esau sent away Jacob, and he went to Pandam Aram, unto Laban, son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob's and Esau's mother.
Pause for a minute. Remember last Shabbat, in the preceding chapter, Rebekah, the angel told her what Esau had thought in his heart, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he said, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to take care of this business when the days of my father's mourning are over. And it says, Rebekah, the thing was told to Rebekah. Right. So we know Yahweh's all in this. The angel spoke to her and told her, obviously. And she told her son, you got to go to Laban. That's right. But we see here when Brother Uriah started out, obviously in chapter 28, Jacob just didn't get up and leave based on what his mama said.
Correct.
They had to go back to Jacob. Yeah. Back to Isaac.
Yeah. Isaac ended up blessing him again.
There we are here. He ended up blessing him again.
He's the head of the house.
And he tells him, go to
your brother.
Your brother's, your wife, your mama's brother.
Yeah.
And get your wife there. So you see that everything's done decently in order.
Praise God.
She wasn't so miserly behind her husband's back.
No. What was done was done. By the time the blessing came,
the angel already told her what the deal was.
Right. So Rebecca knew these things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we don't know. See, a lot of things in our lives we just don't know. But then again, we're sometimes able to say, "Wow, I didn't know it was going to turn into this."
The Spirit is working.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. You sit back and whatever. But go ahead, bro. I just wanted to. But you can watch last week's Sabbath service and Sabbath discussion and figure it and go over what we went over.
Okay, we're in the book of Genesis, chapter 28, verse 6. When Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Pandamaram to take him a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughter of Canaan. And that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother, and was gone to Pandamaram. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Esau his father, then Esau then Esau unto Ishmael, and took unto the wives which he had Mahalalel, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife. And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went towards Haran. And he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took off the stones of that place and put them for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep.
Okay, let me ask you a question before you go further into Jacob's when he goes to sleep. But Esau, a question. Well, as you read this, it seems like Esau appears that as if he didn't know that he should not have taken a wife of Canaan. Right? It doesn't specify, what's going on, but he's watching how his brother's being obedient, and that he's been sent off to get a wife. His mother even said in Genesis, you stay where you are, when in Genesis 27 verse 46, I'm gonna read this. It says, and Rebekah said to Isaac, and talking to her husband, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob takes a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these, which are the daughters of the land, what good shall my wife do to me? But Esau had already taken them. You follow what I'm saying? Did Esau disobey outright? Or did he know? This is for discussion. I mean, it doesn't tell us. But
if we go back in a few chapters, we see where Esau has sold his birthright. He don't care anything about instruction. Especially his father. Okay,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
He sold his birthright for a bowl of lentils.
Yeah, right.
Now that is true. That's so maybe this when he took the wife, I don't know. He just married. He didn't care what they were saying. Is that what we think probably happened?
I mean, it didn't say that he was instructed to not take a wife, but he did see that did he not hear what
well, he's hearing now.
Yeah.
But before all that took place, before he got married, he had a wife first.
Right.
So I'm saying that was he instructed, obviously, was he instructed not to take a wife from the land? Or, well, really it didn't really matter because it's not about him.
That's right.
In the big picture, right? It's
right.
all about Jacob, with the seed, the holy seed is with Jacob.
That's what it is.
Look at it this way.
Marry you want to marry.
Look at it this way again, but I mean, their father blessed who?
Jacob. Right. That's
so,
it.
Father, do you have a blessing for me, dude?
Right.
You're going to go out there and get yours by the sword, son.
It's been rebellious.
But what he said, your brother Jacob came to me subtly.
He came with subtlety.
And what? And got the blessing. No, you go there. You got to do it. I can't, and he will be blessed.
That's right. I can't reverse it.
Yeah. You can't reverse the blessing.
No.
I don't spoke it. The blessing's been upon. So, but these are things that we should think about.
That's right.
I mean, because now, be careful, because you're going to have somebody going to tell you, oh, this, and this, like they know. It's not written. We just brought it up for discussion. We don't know what took place with Esau and Isaac and Rebekah, what they told him. But we do know they didn't like the fact that he did marry.
That's right. And
they were concerned that they wanted to make sure Jacob wasn't going to be in that situation.
That's right.
They got Jacob out of town. Just like Isaac went. Isaac didn't go, but Abraham's servant went.
That's right.
And found Rebekah. So let's continue, my brother.
Verse 12. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of Elohim ascending and descending on it. And behold, Yahweh stood above it and said, I am Yahweh Elohim of Abraham, thy father, and the Elohim of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Look at that, my brother.
Okay.
Verse 15. And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places, whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. for I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. And Jacob walked out of his sleep, awake out of his sleep. Let me read it again, verse 16. And Jacob awake out of his sleep, and he said, surely Yahweh is in this place, and I knew it not. And he was afraid and said, how dreadful is this place! This is none other but the house of Elohim, and this is the gate of heaven. Verse 18. And Jacob rose up early in the morning, and took the stone that he had put for his pillars, and set it up for a pillar, and poured oil upon the top of it. And he called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of that city was called Luz at the first. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if Elohim will be with me, and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat, and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace.
That's very critical.
Yeah. Then shall Yahweh be my Elohim, and this stone, which I have set for a pillar, shall be Elohim's house. And of all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give the tenth unto you.
Okay. Now, I want to touch base on a couple of things I think you just said, but I want to go back. Now we see the Sabbath class discussion is Jacob, the covenant continues. We just read it, right?
That's right.
But he went in a dream, right? Now let's see. I want just look at a couple of things. Let's look at let's go back to Genesis. Let me make sure. So we got Yahweh confirming the Abrahamic covenant with Isaac, with Jacob. But when we go back to Genesis, he's blessing him. He said he's telling him in verse 13 to 16. God says he's going to be with Jacob and he's going to bless him. Let's go to Genesis 15, just for reference sake, so you know that this is a continuation, right, of Abraham's promise. So we can understand that this is Yahweh. This thing is very serious, and there's nothing confusing here. Let me find it. Genesis 15, and here we. I think that's where we are. Let's go to Genesis 15. Brother, can you read that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You want to start at verse 1?
Yeah, start at 1.
Okay. Genesis chapter 15, verse 1. After these things, the word of Yahweh came unto Abram in a vision, saying, fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. And Abram said, Yahweh Elohim, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is this Eleazar of Damascus? And Abram said, behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. And behold, the word of Yahweh came unto him, saying, this shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir. And he brought him forth abroad, and said, look now toward heaven, and count the stars, if you be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be. And he believed in Yahweh, and he counted it to him for righteousness.
Yeah, let's stop right there.
Yes, sir.
Now, go to chapter 17 of Genesis. And start. Now, here's that covenant, right? He becomes Abraham, but let's read verse 6. And that's that covenant being reaffirmed with him, right?
Genesis chapter 17, verse 6. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between me and thy seed after, and thee rather, and thy seed after thee, in their generation.
You got Isaac.
That's
right.
right.
I'm seeing his generation. Now we just got to Isaac, Jacob,
That's
right? Or Jacob. Continue.
Yes, sir. For an everlasting covenant, to be an Elohim unto thee, and to thy seed after thee. And I will give unto thee, and to thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their Elohim.
And you can stop right there. So when the brother finished reading, when Uriah, just look at that comparison. Uriah, just go back again and to chapter 28 of the book of Genesis, right? When he woke up, these visions are being given to him, and in that very verse 1 to 13 where you started, and you see that it's not too different, but we have to make sure we're following that lineage to the letter.
We got to, man.
That's Genesis 28, and look at what he's saying. Now we just read what Yahweh said to Abraham. Let's look at the language what he's telling to. We could go to Isaac, but let's look at Jacob. In verse 13 again.
Okay, verse 13. Chapter 28, Genesis chapter 28, verse 13. And behold, Yahweh stood above it and said, I am the Elohim of Abraham thy father.
Right.
Yeah. And the Elohim of Esau, the land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. Confirming it again.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is where we are. Yahweh is determined to, even from the Garden of Eden, where he said that he's going to redeem the earth, but he's going to have a seed, a holy seed.
Right.
And that holy seed, he's ultimately going to make a nation.
That's right.
That's supposed to be a nation of priests.
Kingdom of priests.
A kingdom of priests.
That's right.
A kingdom of priests. Right? So he's on his way. Now, Jacob is made a vow. Yahweh, you be with me, you do this for me, do this, you be my God. Well, Yahweh's already got that covered. He already told you. But sometimes we're that way. Let's be honest. Because what if you were in that situation? You had a dream. Abraham had a dream. Abraham was talking to Abraham. So these things are just showing you that we're holy people.
Man, look here. If the Most High can talk to you, look here, man, you can negotiate with him.
That's right. I like that.
If I can, in the first place, for him to come and talk to you, I mean, he look at you as one of his servants of high regard.
Exactly. And going back to what you said about, that's real. Now going back to what you said about Hezekiah. Now the prophet went to him, gave him heads up, he's the king, right? But it was through that spirit, through that prophet. He said, look, you're all right. I'm going to negotiate. Then once he gave him the word, as you say, Hezekiah now got to negotiate a little something. Right. Yahweh already gave him the 15 years extension on his life. And then he went, hey, well, what about the time? Do this and that. But that confirmed what you said. Is that a spirit work?
Yeah.
If he's talking to you like that,
that's right.
Well, you better go. You might can negotiate something.
Yeah.
Don't be a closed mouth. Don't get fed. They say. I better ask the Most High this thing. But you can do how Abraham did it. Well, if I may say so. Right. Man, I don't want to get, I don't want to offend you. Don't get upset with me now. But can I suffer your servant to, would you destroy Sodom if it was, Yahweh went along with it. That was his what? Friend.
Yeah, that's right.
Now guess what? Guess what company we're in? I was reading the other night. When I was reading in John, and what the Mashiach say to his disciples. He said, from this time on, I'm not going to call you servants. Disciples. I'm going to call you friends.
I'm going to call you friend.
Because the servant don't know what the master does. I'm calling you my friend.
I revealed unto you.
Okay.
He revealed unto his servant.
That's right. So Abraham was a friend of Yahweh, but we are friends to the Mashiach. And Yahweh, and through him, we have peace with God. So we can call on our friend.
Praise God.
Praise God. Yeah, that was something that I just saw. But that's what Yahweh reveals things to you when you attempt to try to pursue him and follow him. That's it. Well, let's go now. Let's see what's going to happen to our father, Jacob. He's on his way to Laban, right? Bethuel, his mom's brother, You got to get him a wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to Genesis chapter 29, and we can pick up there. What are you, Obi? Are you going to pick it up?
All right, I'll do that.
Okay.
Praise God. Genesis chapter 29, verse 1. Then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of the people of the east.
Okay.
And he looked, and behold, a well in the field. And lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither were all the flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in his place. And Jacob said unto them, My brethren, whence be ye? Whence be ye? And they said, Of Haran are we. And he said unto them, Know you Laban, the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him. And he said unto them, Is he well? And they said, He is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter cometh with the sheep.
Come on now.
Right.
Come on. What that remind you guys of?
See, that's what I was going to say. You see, what I, the well was the spot.
That's the
what
spot.
I'm saying.
Okay.
That's the spot. Like, anytime something, like, they might go down.
He's like the hookup. He's like the hookup. He's like the hookup spot.
That's the spot. Everybody go to the well.
Oh,
right. As well
when the water wine.
Exactly. Moshe came out of Egypt.
Oh,
at the well.
At the well.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
guess
right.
what? Water.
All
those stuff lying back there.
And no, that's sure. He said he's going to give us
The
free
living water. Okay. That's what I'm telling you about.
Let me have some of that water.
Let me have some of that water.
Praise God.
Praise God, man.
We were at verse 6. Or the end of verse 6.
Yes.
Verse 7. And he said, Lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together. Water you the sheep, and go and feed them. And they said, We cannot, until all the flocks be gathered together, until they roll the stone from the well's mouth. Then we water the sheep. And while he yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near, and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel, and lifted up his voice, and wept.
Whoa.
And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father.
I want to say something. Also about that well. But again, when Abraham sent his servant to get a wife for Isaac, he made that prayer, and said, and exactly how he prayed. Let the next woman, send her to this well, right. Let her say such and such.
Right.
And voila, there Rebecca, his mama, roll up at the spot, at the well spot. And so here it is here again. But here's not going to be as different. But she rolled right up there. He cried. He said, man, this is, how coincidental is that?
And then he watered the flock.
He watered the flock.
He fed the sheep. Now that was, they say, okay, well that was the women's job.
Right.
Yeah, okay, well that was their job in their time. They would go out and they go feed it. But he watered the flock.
Right.
He fed the sheep.
And that's different.
He's head over heels now.
But
he wept when he saw.
But look at that, yeah. She's good looking. But look at the inverse of that. In that prayer that the servant made, it was for Rebecca.
Correct.
Watered the flock and fed the camels, I guess, and watered them. And watered them also. And this time, turn around, it's reversed.
Right.
That's what it seems like. Yeah, reversed.
He done humbled himself.
He done humbled himself. I'm gonna take care of this business. Cause he crying. Let's continue. It's great.
We have to look into that cry because there's a lot of things that we can't.
That's why I'm glad you brought it up.
Okay, that can come from that cry, knowing that he's searching for his family.
That's right.
So quick, Yahweh has blessed him to see his family, man. you must be crying.
So tears
Must
of joy.
be tears of joy, man.
Exactly. I agree.
Tears of joy.
That's exactly. That's the spirit, man. 'Cause I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly. That's
Yeah.
it. That's that. You know. Because I can't.
Yahweh has blessed his journey
Off the
already.
top. Off the top. But
That's-
look the way he just did. Go ahead.
No, that reminds me of when the temple was being built.
Mm.
People, they were crying.
They were crying, man.
Couldn't tell the difference
Over
between
joy.
The people cheering for joy.
Joy.
The ones that were crying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was a blessed occasion.
It was a blessed
Exactly.
occasion.
Yeah.
And y'all
To
was
see that what Yahweh has prophesied, they was present at that time to see and help build the temple.
Right.
Man,
Right.
we don't know what kind of emotion that's in us
Man.
that if we to see things
Ooh,
come to pass in this book that we are living in those
can
times.
you imagine?
I can't imagine because I feel like I don't know, but because
They say you want to walk at Cloud 9, man.
exactly.
Hey, that's when it says when Mashiach returned, he said they shall mourn, all the tribes gonna
The
mourn.
born,
Yeah.
right?
Like loathe ourselves just for the
Yeah, this thing's been real the whole time.
Yeah.
But Yahweh
That's
kept this.
heavy.
But
Yeah.
it's deep. But
And we're
Yahweh,
going to even believe more in
That's
this
right.
book.
exactly.
What is written in. Yeah.
But you see that Yahweh kept. Yahweh is allowing him to keep his vow. As he said in 28 verse, in the very first thing he said, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yaakov vowed a vow saying, if Elohim will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me the bread, give me bread to eat and raiment to put on. So right there, you can imagine that crying. He said, man, I just made this promise. I made this vow.
You confirmed this.
You confirmed this.
Yeah.
Man,
Within a short space of time.
very.
He blessed him.
But there you go. That's
Yahweh proved
in
his
his
servant.
journey, yeah.
He just proved it. Yahweh showed him, said, all right, now it's on you. He put the ball in our court.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now what you gonna do? I heard them words.
Right.
Now them words are required.
Now that vow.
Praise
Okay.
him.
Ready to continue, my brother.
Praise him.
But that's very critical. What's going to come up? That by what you're going to do now. What's going to precede?
Yes, sir. Read over verse 11. Verse 11. And Yaakov,
That's right.
and Yaakov kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept. And Yaakov told Rachel that he was her father's brother,
Right.
and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father.
Wow.
And it came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Yaakov, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh.
Praise Yah.
And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Yaakov, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored.
Okay.
And Yaakov loved Rachel, and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter.
Okay. Now, he's made that's going to be his dowry.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm going to work. I'm going to serve you. You know, for your younger daughter. Now notice, Leah is the oldest, right? But let's continue.
You know, also to confirm what my elder was saying. You know, when it says that Yaakov, so we got to be very careful of narratives that we'll follow.
Yeah.
And so that was so key. You know, when you read verse 11, it says Yaakov kissed Rachel.
Yeah.
Right.
So you would look at it, okay, he's just taking her to be his wife. That's not
No,
what
no.
He was
confirmed
for the
exactly.
spirit. And it confirmed that because when Laban, it says in verse 13, it came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him.
Praise Yah, my brother.
So
Yeah,
it was just joy.
The family connected.
Praise.
Right. Praise Yah, brother.
It says, we read it said the Greek the brethren with the holy kiss.
The holy kiss, right?
You can't do that in these
Not in the Western, not in the Western world. No. You can't do that.
Non-culture.
But that goes back to, like you said, man, when we read, we have to study, and the 3 of us here, Yahweh's blessed us to, and the brother caught that nuance of that, and it's a nuance.
That's right.
And you just read over it,
Yeah.
without putting that focus on it.
Mm-hmm. Praise
Spirit, man.
Hallelujah. It's the Spirit. Hallelujah.
That's the grace of it, man.
Verse 14. And Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month.
I think you don't read that. You're on 17.
Oh, I'm sorry. Verse 17. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And Laban said, it is better that I give her to you than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel. And they seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had to her.
Man, we talked about this before in the past,
That's
in
right.
other classes and studies. But that is some love. But see, we don't hear about love among our people,
Right.
among our women.
No, they just took them.
Yeah,
That's what
they
they
just
did
took them.
nowadays. They just took them.
Yeah,
They had 20 of them. They ain't regard them.
Come on now.
That's
But
not-
you know, I heard other camps say if you want a wife, you just go out there, you just
Grab her.
natural one.
Yeah, you grab my daughter, see what happened.
Right.
I got something for you. You don't mean the last grab. But the point is, there's love.
Mm.
Yeah.
Isaac loved Rebekah.
Abraham loved Sarah.
And that's without a doubt. Abraham loved Sarah.
That's right. That's right.
He didn't bring nobody else. He had no other concubine except for her concubine to bring forth a seed.
Mm.
And once the spirit had got the Sarah, she got to go.
That's right.
And she left. And he didn't have another woman until she died.
Mm.
He married again, Keturah. But Sarah is dead.
That's it. Anybody could have took one.
They could have.
Right.
But
Now that shows you something.
that shows you something.
Yeah.
What would you do? You got a holy man and a holy woman, Yahweh. See, we have to think. We want to look on the fleshly things. Well, I got me 15 women, 15 wives. Well, okay, we'll see about that. Let's see if you be getting down like that in the kingdom of heaven, Yahweh.
Mm.
Let's see if you're gonna be getting down like that before Yahshua, the King.
Mm.
You think about that.
Mm.
This is the kingdom of heaven on earth.
Mm-hmm.
And you right here running women.
Mm.
You up in the tent somewhere.
You want to have orgies.
Yeah, you want to have an orgy.
That's what they thinking
I'm
about.
gonna have me an orgy.
That is all about the flesh.
That's
man.
it. Well, you might well get you a Quran,
Go
and blow yourself up and go ahead and go and get you some versions of
they
that.
sound real similar.
Right. Because we're saying the kingdom of heaven, and they're saying I'm going off to heaven.
Right.
But you don't get caught up and fascinated on the flesh
Mm-hmm.
and not whose presence you're going to be in.
Mm.
What the holy things that are going to be around you, the resurrected angels.
Mm.
And could you imagine even standing before Yahshua, the King?
Mm.
And you already know, watch your mouth. Don't speak foolishly before the King.
That's right.
So you can't yell, hey, Yahshua, big brother. Well, he said, they might whoop you right there.
Yeah.
You might get whooped.
Mm.
Right? Say, beat a fool, right? You might end up getting beat. We don't know. But your mind won't. Hopefully, our minds will be in a whole nother, and we're going to see things we've never seen. So
That's
we'll
right.
be at a whole nother. And that's just speculation.
That's right.
Okay.
Verse 21. And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her.
Right?
And Laban gathered together all the men of the place, and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening, that he took Leah his daughter, and brought her to him. And he went in unto her. I mean,
I guess that tent dark. Ain't no light.
No light.
No nothing.
You know,
Yeah.
he didn't hear the voice.
No, he ain't
I
nothing.
mean, he loved Rachel, guys.
Yeah.
But,
Yes. We don't. These are things that we just don't know about that
That's
culture.
right. That's
It's just it's
That's
funny.
right.
It's interesting.
Very. And verse 24. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for a handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, what is this that thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn.
Well. He's upset, but what about that, Obi?
Yeah,
He's
I know.
upset.
I know.
What does Jacob's name mean?
Supplanter.
A supplanter, right?
Yeah.
And who did he supplant?
His own brother.
Old Esau.
His own brother.
Of course, his mama said do it, but he was willing to do it. He's ready.
He didn't say, "Oh no, mommy, I can't do it, mommy. I really can't do it."
You just
it's wrong.
no. He didn't say all that.
No.
You tricked your blind dad.
Oh man. Oh man.
It's interesting. It is a part of their culture, though. He says it must not be done so in our country,
right?
To give the younger before the firstborn.
And that's one of the reasons
he got it. But he said no, that's not how we do things.
That's not how we do things.
I can't have I don't want to have the eldest one in here.
Right.
But you have to look at the other way.
That's right.
A man's word is his bond.
That's right.
So he shouldn't have made that contract.
He tricked him.
He
got it.
He got it real good.
But that's why when we first started reading here, we saw the older daughter, Leah. You got it now. We've been to Rebecca. And Rachel. So but you're right. That's the culture. But
he tricked him.
Right, he tricked him. Yeah. So therefore, sometimes let that be a lesson to us. Get a good understanding when you're doing contracts.
Yeah.
Get it in writing. I'm just speaking, but that is wisdom.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Your T's are crossed.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
Let's continue, my brother.
Yes, sir. Verse 27. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me at 7 other years. He done worked it out.
Oh yeah, he already got this
thing. He
thing.
got the both out.
Because he's being blessed.
Yes, sir.
Man, look here, man. The first 7 years, man, he saw that brother and said, "Hey, there's something.
Look at the work he did.
There's something. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but there's something so special about this man.
I'm gonna keep him around.
I want to keep him around
because I'm blessed by his blessing.
Oh man,
I got
that's what he always say that.
Yeah. He always blessed him.
Yeah.
So he's gonna bless him. Obviously, you see, he's gonna bless him in the fruit of his hand, his word.
That's right.
That's right.
Verse 28. And Jacob did so and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah his handmaid to be her maid. And that's a part of the culture.
Yeah.
See like now we have wives and we have children, but in those days we would have given her a maid to assist them with taking care of the child.
Right.
So the burden falls on them.
Yeah.
But verse 30. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah.
See that's my point. Look at these little nuances here when you're reading, right?
That's right.
It's going to set up the preceding, the subsequent chapter. We already know he loved Rachel. That's what he really wanted. So he loved, but yet Leah's his wife, right? Regardless, right?
That's right.
So you can imagine how that situation is going to play out. You got two wives, and it's clearly you love one more than the other. And then what Yahshua said, you can't serve both mammon. What?
Yeah, you gonna love one and hate the other.
Yeah, right. You gotta serve Yahweh, but you're gonna love one and hate the other. So you gotta make a choice. But then this is why. But those things just happen.
That's right.
But it's just the way it's set up. But it's interesting to, you want multiple wives, but you're not gonna love all those women the same. Unless you just a beast. Unless you got a beast mindset.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, I think they're dealing with it. They're thinking on it fleshly. So,
right.
I mean, you put the cart before the horse, but you got to thoroughly think through these things. That to each his own. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, I ain't got to do it. That's on you, and it's not my daughters, and doing that.
But we're gonna read later on.
Okay.
That Laban told Jacob, say, "Hey man, don't you take no more of the wives."
Okay.
Yeah. See, then my daughter don't deal with them like they some. Don't take no other wife. Now we're gonna read that later on.
Praise God, bro. Hallelujah.
Consider that.
See that? He's gonna threaten.
He basically checking them like, hey man, you watch how you deal with my daughters now.
I'm coming for you.
They, me and you now.
They,
I'm for you.
they have a daddy.
I would have that.
They got a daddy. They ain't throw it away.
That's right.
You don't treat me any kind of way. Praise y'all. I want to see about you right now.
That's right.
I love that. Thank you for giving us that, as you said, that footnote, a head note to come.
Praise God. Verse 30. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved Rachel more than Leah, and served him yet 7 other years. And when Yahweh saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren.
That's how Yahweh's merciful.
That's right.
I know he loved that, but I tell you what, I'm gonna give you that seed.
Just waits.
That's right.
Just boundaries.
That's what our Elohim is.
Oh yeah.
You know. Praise Yah. Verse 32. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben.
Now here we go.
Here, the beginning of the tribes.
This beginning of the tribes.
Yes, sir.
That's his firstborn. His strength, right?
And what does Reuben mean?
You know, Reuben. Let me think. You don't count me on that one. It's a son to see.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
I got it. I thought I had it. I thought I lost it.
You got it.
Praise God.
Praise God.
Verse 32. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, surely Yahweh has looked upon my affliction.
That's right.
And therefore my husband will love me.
There you go.
Verse 33. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because Yahweh has heard that I was hated, he has therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. And that has meaning too.
It's a hearing, isn't it?
That's right.
Praise God.
Praise God. Verse 34. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. And that means joined.
Okay.
Right?
Now you're seeing the Levi, that's going to come out of that. But now this is from Leah, right? Okay, she has had 3 sons.
Oh, I'm hated now.
And I'm hated. Yeah, he said he don't want to bother with it, right? But he's still doing his marital duties, obviously those things.
Absolutely.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Verse 35. And she conceived again and bare a son, and she said, now will I praise Yahweh. Therefore she called his name Judah, and left barren.
Okay.
Judah means praise.
It's praise. Yes, and we pronounce my name, we pronounce it Yahudah, Judah.
Praise.
And so, and these are, when we took these names, all of us took our names as the Spirit moved us to take these Hebrew names, as the Scripture said that we would in this time. So when I saw that, Yehuda, I felt like that should be a name. The Spirit moved me to go to choose that name, because I felt like it reflected me. Where I'm coming from. So I love the praise. I'm thankful that I can praise Yah.
Praise Yah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Praise Yah. So
when you look at
so that's 4 sons right there, right?
Yeah, 4 sons. As the reader or Brother Hobbit, started to give the meaning of these names. We realize that in the Hebrew culture, we just don't name our children for name's sake. We name them with something very important. What those names reflect of that person. That's all I want to bring up right now.
Definitely. Right. So now we have at what time? I know we started a little later because of the technical difficulties, but I want to
about an hour and 40.
About an hour and 40. Okay, we got time. We got time. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we do have chapter 30 is pretty long. So do you want to split this up? Okay, you want to read all of it? You want to split it up?
We'll go whenever.
Okay, we'll cut it. It's up to 43, and so we will. I want to make sure.
We'll do.
Get like 16 and 17. Take it up to. Take it down to. This is.
I'll just read it.
Yeah. We'll switch up. I don't want to reach out.
Burn me out.
Burn him out.
Yeah.
Can I get a break?
Okay, you burn of the spirit. Come on.
Now you can't see. You get there every time. I have no rebuttal.
Oh.
Because Yahweh is.
I digress.
Yeah, exactly. Yahweh is inexhaustible.
Right.
Yeah, it may be down 100, but I tell you something. That's, the spirit that Yahweh has given us, man, to do this for all of us, man.
Right.
We go above and beyond, not to fear anything. And if we're sick, we're still doing it.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
We're limping, we're still doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
praise God.
All right.
Chapter 30.
Genesis chapter 30, verse 1. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, Give me children, or else I die. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, Am I in Elohim's stead? Who hath withheld from thee the fruit of the womb?
And you see, that's that knowledge. He's dealing with his wife according to knowledge.
Yeah.
She's the loved one now. His love is on her. But a wife wants to give her husband seed.
Right.
Yeah.
Children.
That's right.
Sons. Partner, sons and daughters. And she's like, her sister's just having babies left and right.
Right. What's wrong?
What's wrong?
Something wrong.
Give me a child.
Right.
Give me children.
Right.
So man, am I God?
I mean, you can imagine how you can see how Sarah was feeling.
Oh, that's a good point, brother.
Abraham, he's up in age, and she's like, Yahweh promised. She's following him. She's going with him. She went into Egypt and all of it. She almost got taken to be another man's wife.
Right. Exactly.
But she wants this. She wants this promise to come forward.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So that so this is a very and even today, if a couple or a woman is infertile, that's very stressful. That's a heartbreaking situation.
Yeah.
And so when you can kind of see that, well, what's going on? And why have I conceived? I'm been married, my husband and I, but we can't conceive. So you look at 4 children that come to pass,
right?
And she's but he has to turn to Yahweh. He can't do anything, but he doesn't go off on his wife. He's angry. He's like, what do you want me to do?
Am I Yahweh's stead?
Am I Yahweh's stead? He closed the womb.
But then we see who's in control. Just like we read in the blind.
Yes.
Who made the deaf, who made the dumb, who made the blind, who withhold. Did it in Egypt.
That's right, Moshe.
He had to he said, Abram's going to pray for you. He's a prophet.
That's right.
Yahweh stopped the wombs of the women inside of Abimelech's kitchen.
Exactly. Nobody got pregnant.
Nobody got it.
Nobody got it. Shut him down. Shut him down. I'm shutting down. Then I'm going to kill you. I'm doing what I can. Hey, Yahweh's awesome. I mean, he can. That shows you who we worship. And let's see what happens. What's going on? After this.
Verse 3. And she said, Behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear up on my knees, that I may also have children by her.
Bam.
I'm telling you, man.
Just like you said, Sarah. That's what she said. Go unto my handmaid, Hagar.
Do that surrogate.
Do that surrogate. So she's desperate. She's hey, I haven't given seed yet. So she's probably thinking I must be barren or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I got to give my husband a child.
Right. I can't. Yeah. My sister, Leah, is wide open.
Right.
Okay, so what goes on? And this is interesting. How Yahweh does this.
Oh, man. Verse 4. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife, and Jacob went in unto her, and Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. And Rachel said, Elohim has judged me, and has also heard my voice, and had given me a son.
Okay, praise God.
Therefore called she his name Dan, which means judging.
Praise God.
Verse 7.
That's the 5th son, right?
Yeah, for Jacob. And Bilhah, Rachel may conceive again, and bear Jacob a second son. And Rachel said, With great wrestling have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali, wrestling.
That's right.
Verse 9. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife.
Let's read that again. I need to hear that again.
I'll tell you, verse 9. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Yaakov to wife.
Okay.
Is that a competition?
They are in deep competition. They in deep competition. Competition.
Yeah.
She said, Rachel described it with great wrestling. As I wrestled with my sister.
Oh,
and I have prevailed. So she has 2 children, right? At this point, 2, Dan and Naphtali, right? By Bilhah.
Yeah.
So now Leah is saying, I hadn't been pregnant a minute. What's going on?
Hey, man, I'd like to tell you something, man. Reading this book, this history book, you know, certain culture, I mean, it's like, they're gonna look down on a woman if she cannot give her husband a son.
That's right.
Like something, is defiled or something about that woman.
Right.
And they'll give her a hard time.
Yeah, they're gonna give her a hard time. Now we're thinking many story, that is written.
Exactly.
Yeah, verse 10. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Yaakov a son. And Leah said, a troop cometh. And she called his name Gad.
Okay, now, and what does Gad mean?
Troop.
Hey, troop.
Troop.
So, see, that's powerful. That's number 7, right? That's the 7th child, son.
Verse 12. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Yaakov a second son.
Wow.
And Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher.
Okay.
Happy.
Okay, that means happy.
Yeah.
So you're saying this.
Yeah.
So what she's saying here, but didn't that blessing when we discussed this when Rebecca went off, in her family blessing, may you be the mother of millions.
That's right.
So that was the fertility, to be blessed, to have a lot of fruit.
That's right.
You're right. I'm telling you, verse 14. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found mandrakes in the field and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes. And she said unto her, it is a small matter that thou hast taken my husband, and wouldest thou take away my son's mandrake also? And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrake.
She said, well, I tell you what.
She bought it.
She bought it. You go over there to Leah tonight.
Yeah.
You go to Leah tonight. What you doing? I want these mandrakes. But but you see the confusion even in this holy situation. Having 2 women, 2 sisters, 2 wives, and that.
Well, later on down, when Yahweh gave the law, he said that you shall not take a wife unto and take her sister too, basically to provoke her.
To provoke her, vex her.
You go ahead.
Exactly. Don't do that. You don't marry 2 sisters. But see,
But Yahweh's building the nation.
He's building the nation.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There it is.
He's not bound to his law.
He's not bound.
The law is for us.
The law, yeah, you're right. Law is for mankind.
Simple flesh.
Right.
Yeah, verse 16. And Yaakov came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him and said, thou must come in unto me, for surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrake. And he laid with her that night.
See, boy, they're not playing that. See, they're not playing. But if you're reading this book with a fleshly mind, you're like, yeah, man, I better live the life.
Oh,
you're going from one woman to the next. Man.
No.
Come on now.
Read with understanding, man.
Yeah. Yes, I have understanding.
How detailed this Yahweh wrote this. Is this perversion?
No, it's
not
not.
how he left it.
Right.
You know,
it's like he's showing you how this nation set up.
Correct.
Well, you know what, Elder? That's why Yahweh put us around this table, man, to teach our people there. It's not about the flesh, man.
That's right.
I understand what Yahweh has written, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, praise Yahweh, at least. He has given all of us the opportunity, to work.
That's right.
To be
Praise
fishers of
Yah.
men.
That's right. Praise Yah. I'm deeply blessed.
Yeah, man.
Honored and humbled.
Verse 17. And Elohim hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived and bare Yaakov the 5th son. And Leah said, Elohim has given me my hire, because I have given my maiden, to my husband, and she called his name Issachar.
So that's the 8th child altogether, but it's Leah's fifth son.
Sure.
Okay.
Be the ninth.
Ninth. Is that the ninth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. That's the ninth son, but it's Leah's fifth that she's had.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
I understand. Gotcha.
Yeah. Verse 19. And Leah conceived again and bare Jacob the sixth son. Ooh, so Yahweh opened up back her womb.
Exactly. She's like ran.
Verse 20. And Leah said, Elohim has endued me with a good diary. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulun.
And Zebulun means what?
Dwelling.
So, but Leah, her desire is to have that love exclusively for herself, for her husband.
Right.
Is that fair? That's what she keeps saying, right?
Yeah.
She wants to say, now I have
So she knew that the husband preferred Rachel.
Yes.
And so she coveted that spot. She wanted that
spot.
Why wouldn't want
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by giving him all these sons,
Yeah.
she said, look, I'm giving you what every man wants.
But hey, look at this.
At that time,
Yeah, look at this. Jacob was a good man.
That's right.
The quality of a man. Who wouldn't want Jacob? Who wouldn't, throw themselves at Jacob?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, he's go out and come in. He work. He put things in. He take care of his family.
That's right.
That's what most of our brothers need to do today. Take care of your family.
Right.
Take care of your children.
Right.
A lot of them ain't doing it that way.
Yeah, man.
Say that again?
A lot of them ain't doing it that way.
I know.
Okay, a lot of exactly.
I hate to bash these women, but a lot of them
ain't doing it.
My brother dropped the ball.
And there's there's so many systemic issues, but at the end of the day, you gotta have that. When I say systemic, economic, racism, all these issues. But at the end of the day, you need to take care of your seed.
Yeah.
If she's not with you, whatever y'all can't get along, take care of your children. But you want the state to come in there. Well, they call child support on them. Well, the child gotta eat.
So what?
The child gotta have some clothes. That's your child.
Why do they have to call child support in the first place?
Sometimes they do it. Sometimes each case is different. A case by case difference.
Yeah.
You know the other side.
But most of the time,
I'm not giving nothing.
Yeah.
The girl and her parents take care of the child.
Yeah. Verse 20.
If that.
Yeah, I know. Verse 21. And afterward, she bare a daughter and called her name Dinah.
Now, that is later on down the line. That one sister, that little sister right there, right? That's little sister. Okay, Dinah. Yeah. We're going to hear about Dinah. What's going to go down?
Verse 22.
I'm not going to give it away.
No. Verse 22. And Elohim remembered Rachel, and Elohim hearkened to her and opened her womb.
Okay, now finally, Rachel is watching. She's had her handmaid, right? Have children, and she's saying, Leah. She's a fruitful woman. So so now Rachel has been blessed. The womb has been open, as they say.
Okay. Verse 23.
Hearken to her. So she cried about this unto Yah.
Of course.
Come on, man. Let's let. You pick it up. Oh, you want to pick it up right there?
Okay, that works. Verse 22. 23. And she conceived and bare a son, and said, Elohim has taken away my reproach.
Praise Yah.
And she called his name Yosef.
Okay.
And said, Yahweh shall add to me another son. And it came to pass, when Rachel had borne Yosef, that Jacob said unto Laban, Send me away, that I may go into mine own place, into my country. Give me my wives and my children, for whom I have served thee, and let me go. For thou knowest my service which I have done thee. And Laban said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry, for I have learned by experience that Yahweh has blessed me for your sake.
Correct. Now, that's what your brother was saying.
That's right.
That's what y'all was saying earlier.
That's right.
Right there. This guy's prophet to me. I'm being blessed because you around.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Jeez.
That's what was promised to Abraham.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, we know this passed down further.
Right.
But it was still, he that blesses you shall be blessed.
And you took the words off my lips, Obi. That's what I was going to say.
Praise
That's it. He who blesses Abraham is going to be blessed. See, this brother's been your blessing You're blessing Yaakov. That blessing on him.
That's right.
That he got the covenant. Right?
Yeah. Covenant continues.
The covenant continues. Yeah. Praise God.
Yes, sir. Verse 28. And he said, appoint me thy wages, and I will give it. And he said unto him, thou knowest how I have served thee, and how thy cattle was with me. For it was little that thou had before I came, and it is now increased into a multitude. And Yahweh has blessed thee since my coming. And now, when shall I provide for mine own house?
Okay, that is right.
And he said, what shall I give thee? And Yaakov said, thou shalt not give me anything. If thou wilt do this thing for me, I will again feed and keep thy flock. I will pass through all thy flock today, removing from thence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all the brown cattle among the sheep, and all the spotted and speckled among the goats, and of such shall be my hire. So shall my righteousness answer for me in time to come. When it shall come for my hire before thy face, every one that is not speckled and spotted among the goats, and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me. And Laban said, behold, I would it might be according to thy word. And he removed that day the he-goats that were ring-straked and spotted, and all the she-goats that were speckled and spotted, and every one that had some white in it, and all the brown among the sheep, and gave them into the hand of his sons. And he set 3 days' journey betwixt himself and Yaakov. And Yaakov fed the rest of Laban's flocks. And Yaakov took him rods of green poplar, of the hazel and chestnut tree, and pilled white strakes in them, and made the white appear which was in the rods. And he set the rods which he had pilled from the flocks in the gutters in the watering troughs when the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink.
Wow. Okay.
And the flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle ring-straked, speckled, and spotted. And Yaakov did separate the lambs, and set the faces of the flocks toward the ring-straked, and all the brown in the in the flock of Laban, and put his own flocks by themselves, and put them not unto Laban's cattle. And it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Yaakov laid the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, that they might conceive among the rods. But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in. So the feebler were Laban's, and the stronger Yaakov's. And the man increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and maidservants, and menservants, and camels, and asses.
Okay, well, this part here could be a little confusing, and it's even kind of difficult for me to, because I'm not not an agriculturalist, but a person that deals with what's the term, the cattle,
shepherd.
So there's something by this process. Obviously, he knows what he's doing.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
When it comes to getting these sheep and goats to procreate.
When we read further down, we're going to see it's the angel that came to him and showed him how to deal with this, and how he should do this thing to take care of this place.
Let's do this then. It's getting so good. It's 4:23 right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's a big chapter.
It's a big chapter, right? Let's read some of it. Let's read to 15, brother. You're right.
Okay.
You know, and then we'll take it on down.
Okay.
You want to keep moving?
Yeah.
We're at.
I'll read.
We're at 2 hours.
We're at 2 hours right now. Okay.
Yeah,
So
how was the spirit?
okay, let's go to let's begin Genesis chapter 31, and you will have it. Just go ahead and start, bro.
Okay. Genesis 31, verse 1. And he heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Yaakov hath taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's high, he gotten all this glory. And Yaakov beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before.
Oh, okay, you got. You know, I've been blessed now. This thing ain't worked out now.
Right.
How am I being reduced?
His countenance changed.
His countenance changed. You know, that person now, people. You know how people you're getting along, and we have these interactions to this very day.
Yeah.
People. Oh yeah. And people we know. Anything happens.
He's like, oh brother, hey brother.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh, Here come that brother.
Yeah.
Like,
Here come that
his
brother.
countenance like that.
Oh man, I ain't.
Here he come.
Man, I wish I could leave right now. I can't even leave. Damn, damn. What's up, bro?
You know.
Come on now, but that's okay now. Well, you see how money and money can change things in relationships.
Yep. Yeah, verse 3. And Yahweh said unto Jacob, return unto the land of thy fathers, and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock.
So Yahweh told him, get out, right?
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
Time for all things.
Yeah.
Okay, time for all things. Season time. That season is up.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Verse 5. And said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not towards me as before, but the Elohim of my father has been with me.
Praise God.
And ye know that with all my power I have served your father. And your father has deceived me and changed my wages 10 times.
Wow.
But Elohim suffered him not to hurt me.
Okay.
If ye say thus, the speckled shall be thy wage, then all the cattle bear speckled. And if ye said thus, the ring straight shall be thy hire, then bear all the cattle ring straight.
Hey, could you hold on for a minute right there, brother? Going back to that countenance. Sometimes what we said, different personality, but I think the spirit, because Yahweh got this. Sometimes Yahweh show you something about somebody, and it's time to get from around that.
Right.
Because Yahweh said, look, let's take, for example, we didn't see Esau's countenance.
Yeah.
We just know Esau said in his heart.
Right.
Sometimes you don't know what's in the heart of a friend or a brother or acquaintance that you're dealing with. But you pick up on something. That's that spirit telling you, that gut, we call it sometimes. That might be needing, let's you cool that off for right now.
Yeah. See what Esau said.
Because he was going to kill him in his heart.
Yeah. I'm going to wait till the days of my father's mourning pass. Now they mourning the father. He said, I'm going to kill him. I mean, like, right. Look how he thought.
And the mother
had that's a good thing. I'm going to wait till they're done.
I'm going to wait till I'm going to kill him. My dad, I'm going to curse him. I kill my dad. If I kill him while dad's alive,
when it's done, it's all good.
It's good.
Like, really?
But then what did the mother say? You see the spirit working with Rebecca. She said, why should I lose both of you? So she always kill you. We're going to kill you off the top. And then if he kill you, I don't know what y'all going to do to him. Because I can't deal with him no more. Yahweh makes it strike him down. That's all. So she's, the spirit, all this is spirit. That's right. Right? But Yahweh told him, Yahweh may tell you, why are you waiting on following the truth? What are you waiting on? I'm speaking to you. You need to go seek after me. Go seek after me, so you can get this baptism in the name of Yahshua HaMashiach. So you can get them sins washed, and you can start on the right path. Well, something telling me it does, but I'm still. But now, you know what? The next day, death may be waiting on you. Yahweh forbid, but you just never know. You might get that warning, but it's up to you to heed. That's right. So I'm just, this is something we can look at, that we can apply to our life. These instructions, examples. That's right. When he heeded what Yahweh said do, let's go.
And Yahweh had to change that countenance to make him see that. Yeah, it's time for you to go.
There it is, brother.
Yeah, you see how your father dealing with me now?
See, he's talking to the wife.
Sure.
How you dealing with
that?
We gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Thank you for that, Obi. Because Yahweh had to change this so you can see it.
Right. You didn't see it.
You didn't see it.
You're gonna change your ways 10 times.
Come on, man.
Yahweh, but he had to stay there for that time. Yeah. He had to build up substance. He came broke. He couldn't even give a dowry for the wife.
He couldn't give a dowry.
He had to work. He worked it up. Yahweh let him grow.
But I just think that there was a contract.
See?
And he makes sure he fulfilled his contract.
Right. He did his end of the bargain.
That's right.
You're right. Praise God.
Yeah.
Oh, let's continue, man.
Verse 9.
This is getting good.
Verse 9.
Praise God.
Thus Elohim hath taken away the cattle of your father and given them to me.
Wow.
And it came to pass at the time that the cattle conceived, that I lifted up mine eyes and saw in a dream, and behold, the rams which leaped upon the cattle were ring straight, speckled, and bristling.
Is this what you're talking about, Obi? That angel? Okay.
First he got it in a dream.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't understand what that meant, but he saw the sheep leaping.
Well, I like how this is because now usually you tell you up front about the dream, but this is now he's telling you.
Right.
Oh yeah, I got a dream to do this.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The angel told me to do this.
Yeah, verse 11.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, and the angel of Elohim spake unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob, and I said, Here am I. And he said, Lift up now thine eyes and see. All the rams which leap upon the cattle are ring-straight and speckled and bristled. For I have seen all that Laban doeth unto thee.
So you know you've been treated unfairly. Laban is.
I see what he doing.
Yeah, Laban is taking advantage of it.
Verse 13. I am the Elohim of Bethel,
Okay.
where thou anointest a pillar, and where thou vowest a vow unto me. Now arise, get thee out from this land, and return unto the land of thy kindred.
So watch your words.
Mm-hmm.
When you make a vow to Yahweh, you got to be prepared to keep. You got to keep that.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And your word, like you said earlier, your word is your word.
Yeah, it's a vow.
Laban didn't keep his word to the letter.
Yeah.
He got a little technical on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We used to say, "Word is bond."
Word is bond. I remember that. I know that. Your word is bond. Word is bond. And you keep your word to your own detriment.
Mm.
You might, I said, but you know what, you did say that.
That's
You
right.
did agree. So now you don't lost the investment, or you might have lost the deal.
That's
So
right.
you still got to fulfill your word.
Yay gotta be yay. Y'all should keep it simple.
That's right.
Word is just say yay or nay.
Can you do it? No. Okay. Let's just keep reading a little bit more.
Verse 14. And Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, Is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house?
See, they're concerned about, hey, well, how are we going to make it?
Yeah.
Everything's gone.
Yeah. 15. Are we not counted of him strangers? For he had sold us and had quite devoured also our money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For all, the dowry really pretty much belongs to the daughter.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
The father's supposed to, invest in it
Right.
so that the daughters have something.
That's true. So he worked for him,
Right.
but he's married with what dowry did you give? Now it's time to give him a dowry,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's right.
They still get something from their
They're
father.
supposed to have something. You can't send them away empty-handed.
Yeah, right.
Verse 16.
Let's praise you for that.
For all the riches which Elohim has taken from our father, that is ours, and our children. Now then, whatsoever Elohim has said unto thee, do.
See, that's wise women.
They trusted him.
They trusted him. They sat down. They reasoned
trusted him.
together. Now they had their little competition,
Mm-hmm.
but when they sat down, they switched
Business?
to business. They said, "Okay, hey, you're right.
You're right.
Well, let's go.
Let's
we,
go.
We with you, husband.
Yeah.
Hey,
We with you. This makes sense.
Right.
a lot of sense. Verse
If it
17.
don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And somebody said,
That's it. That's what they said.
"It don't make dollars, it don't make sense." Or something else.
Verse 17. Then Jacob rose up and set his son and his wife upon camels. And he carried away all his cattle and all his goods which he had gotten, the cattle of his getting which he had gotten in Pandamarum, for to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the images that were her father's.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so this is let us know something very serious here.
Mhm.
That again, Yahweh, he's setting up a nation now
Mm-hmm.
to serve Him, the true living Elohim.
Mhm.
Now we see that Laban, Abraham's father's house, they were pagans in that sense. They were idolaters. They, like all the nations were. They worshiped the gods of wood and stone.
Mhm.
And so she took these things,
Yeah.
right?
She stole the father's gods.
Okay, she stole the father's God.
Mhm.
Very, very well said.
Verse 20. And Jacob stole away unawares to Laban the Syrian, in that he told him not that he fled. So he fled with all that he had, and he arose up and passed over the river and set his face toward the Mount Gilead. And it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob was fled. And he took his brethren with him and pursued after him 7 days' journey. and they overtook him in the Mount Gilead.
Okay.
And Elohim came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, Take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad.
Now we see. Now we see Yahweh stepping on up now. All right. Now let me calm him down. Let me pump your brakes, lady. You're a little hot.
Rachel stole the gods.
Right.
That's his favorite. That's the one that he had this heart towards. Right. Okay. But did Yahweh allow that to happen?
Yeah, you know that.
This meetup had to happen. Like Jacob was like, we're leaving. They were going to leave anyway.
We're getting out of here.
But he didn't know she was going to go steal the gods.
Right.
And she took the image. But did Yahweh allow that to happen? Because Laban then came and pursued that he had 3 days getaway. He was already ahead leading the journey. Right. And then he gets wind of it. 3 days journey or he was already ahead. He caught right up to him. Right. Because he had all that cattle and stuff with him.
Right.
You know.
And I think that's, you got that factor, and you're looking at, he's pissed. He's going to talk about everything. The children, took my children, took my children, all, because it's mine. If I gave you a wife, that's still mine.
Yeah.
And it's mine. These things
Yahweh have to correct that.
Yahweh to come to him. Yeah. See, Yahweh's with us. We think he's not, but you don't know what he's doing on the other side of town with somebody.
That's right.
You got people out here mad at you, whatever. But guess what? Yahweh deal with that.
That's right.
He might tell you to separate for the proper purpose. And sometimes you better let the separation remain until Yahweh speaks to you.
Yep.
But now this is exciting. Now I want to give you some of this reading here. We got 55 verses. Uriah, read it up, and I'll let you know when to stop. Continue.
Okay, I'll take it unto 30.
Okay, that's fair.
Then Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the mount of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, What hast thou done, that thou hast stolen away unawares to me?
You snuck off.
Yeah, and carry away my daughters as captive taken with the sword.
This is the way you left. You left like, what's going on?
But you can understand that. That's his daughter.
That's his daughter, man. I would be. Go ahead, brother. I don't want to cut you off.
No, you're right. Yeah, I mean, so we consider the
let's look at
perspective. We can understand Laban's perspective, and we can understand Jacob's perspective.
That's very rare, very, very, very good analysis, because that he loved his children. That's his daughters.
Let me greet, but you ain't gonna send them off and kiss them.
Nothing. They just took my daughters
and stole away.
Gone.
Where he at?
Middle of the night.
Took my cattle.
What you say about that, Uriah?
He rounded up the son. Come on, let's go.
You got this business right now. You take my children, get all my grandchildren gone. Everybody gone.
We can look all these, when you look under the commandment later on, you can look, Yahweh allowed these things to happen to show us when he put these things, codified this and gave it to Israel.
That's right.
I'm talking about the laws now, for my listeners.
Right.
Yeah, to know that, hey, these things, I put these things, let these things happen. So when I tell you not to do it, you go back and you read the story. Come on.
Exactly. Praise God for that.
Right. Yeah.
Praise God for that.
Verse 27. Wherefore did thou flee away secretly and steal away from me, and did not tell me, that I may have sent thee away with mirth and with songs, with tabret and with harp? Man, he's lying.
Right.
You go nowhere.
I'm blessed working in my camp. Right. You think I'm going to send him away?
But keep in mind, though, Yahweh has spoken to him. That angel gave him bread. He didn't say a whole lot. He just said, in verse 24, he said, he told him in that green, he that thou speak not to Jacob, either good
or bad.
Wait, that's something?
That's what happened with Abimelech.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yahweh had to come to him in that dream, and he had to visit him about that situation with Sarah.
Exactly. Be careful.
And later on with Rebecca.
Right. You're surely dead, man.
Right.
This is a man's wife.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But
I'm a righteous man. I'm in integrity. He said, yeah, you did what you did from the integrity of your heart.
Yeah.
And I did not allow you to, I'm paraphrasing, and I didn't allow you to sin against me to go into it.
Yeah.
I'm the one that held you back.
Yeah.
You didn't do nothing.
Don't
get beside yourself.
Y'all be the glory.
Get all the glory.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Verse 28. And hast not suffered me to kiss my sons and my daughters.
That's right.
Thou hast now done foolishly in so doing. It is in the power of my hand to do you error. But the Elohim of your father spake unto me yesternight, saying, Take thou heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad.
See that? See that? And you can see that understanding these brothers. Even Laban had understanding. We already spoke to him. That angel spoke to him. He had understanding. This guy is special. His God, his Elohim is with him.
That's right.
And he declared it, right?
Yeah. Verse 30.
Okay, you're going to pick up from there? You're going to pick up from there?
Yeah, okay. Pick up from verse 30.
You right? You want to take it?
Okay. Verse 30. And now, though thou wouldest needs be gone, because thou sore longest after thy father's house, yet wherefore hast thou stolen my gods?
Okay.
And Jacob answered and said,
That's fair.
Laban, right.
That's fair. Yeah.
And Jacob answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid, for I said, Peradventure thou wouldest take by force thy daughters from me. With whomsoever thou findest thy gods, let him not live. Before our brethren, discern thou rather, what is thine with me, and take it to thee. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. See, this is what I'm saying. Yahweh allowed this. Now he loved Rachel. That's his favorite.
That's right.
But he spoke out. He didn't know. He said, man, whosoever your God be with, man, you kill him in front of us. You take him. That's exactly right.
And when you speak that,
you got to keep that word.
We put both of them in the bind. Now, obviously, Laban might say, I ain't going to do that. That's what you said. I ain't going to kill her.
Right.
But we got to be careful when, in that time, in this book, there are times when people have made such statements and vows, you know, and they should have done it, but it goes back to what you just said earlier, as Yahshua said, let your yea be yea, your nay be nay.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anything else beyond that is what? It's sin.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Latter part of verse 32. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the two maidservants' tents, but he found them not. Then went he out of Leah's tent, and entered into Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the images, and put them in the camel's furniture, and sat upon them. And Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. And she said to her father, Let it not displease my master that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women is upon me. And he searched, but found not the images. And Jacob was wroth, and chode with Laban. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, What is my trespass? What is my sin, that thou hast so hotly pursued after me? Whereas thou hast searched all my stuff, what hast thou found of all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and your brethren, that they may judge betwixt us both. This 20 years have I been with thee. See, Yahweh allowed that. He could have made him find it.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Yeah. He let him go. He said, it wasn't an issue for Yahweh. God, I ain't worried about them. I'm not concerned with idols.
Right.
Give it that mess. Go.
Verse 38. This 20 years have I been with thee. Thy ewes and thy she-goats have not cast their young, and the rams of thy flocks have I not eaten. That which was torn of beasts, I brought it not to thee. I brought it not unto thee. I bear the loss of it. Of my hand didst thou require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night.
He made him pay for everything. Right. So he didn't give him no breaks.
Thus I was, in the day the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from mine eyes. You have to keep watch.
Yeah.
Thus have I been 20 years in thy house.
Wow.
I served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy cattle.
Wow.
And thou hast changed my wages 10 times. Except the Elohim of my father, the Elohim of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely thou hadst sent me away, now empty.
Wow.
Elohim has seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and has rebuked you yesternight.
And what you said about, I'm sorry, but you said, you're right. We were looking here. Oh, he's just lying. I mean, he's like, oh, you didn't give me a chance to sing your way with mirth and with songs and tabouret and the harp. Man, if it was your will in that flesh, I would have left there stone broke. I came here broke, I'm gonna leave broke.
Yeah.
That's how some people, and that's how some people carry on today.
That's right.
You don't have anything when I mention, and I'm gonna take what you coming with. Leave what you got.
Yeah. So when you look on the law, when they're empty, you know, without a wife, without children, so everything belongs to the master.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah. So we can see the law,
Take place in that.
Exactly. Right.
Right.
And later on, these things are codified.
Yeah.
Like you said, into when Israel becomes a nation, when Yahweh gives those commandments to the nation, when after being in Egypt, sojourning in Egypt, those things are going to come to pass. But we're, you can see
That's right.
how things are happening.
Yeah.
Verse 43. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, these daughters are my daughters,
Okay.
and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto these my daughters, or unto their children which they have borne?
You see, rightfully so.
That's the law.
That's the law. Everything here.
Right.
It
belongs to Laban.
Laban.
You're absolutely right. If he wanted to leave, he'd have to leave the wives and the children behind according to the law.
Exactly.
Everything.
If he was pleased to dwell with his master, he said, then all right, he'd take all the ball in his ear.
Yeah.
And he'd say, okay, I love my master.
I
I'm
know.
pleased to dwell with him.
Exactly.
He would stay with him for life.
But not in this case.
Not in this case.
Yeah.
The law at that time is not Israel's not a nation.
That's
No.
right.
It's still coming forth right
That's
now.
Yeah.
But that's good analysis, bro.
Verse 44. Now therefore come thou, let us make a covenant, I and thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee. And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, gather stones, and they took stones, and made an heap, and they did eat there upon the heap. And Laban called it Jagar Sahadutha, but Jacob called it Gilead. And that means the heap of witness.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Verse 48. And Laban said, this heap is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore was the name of it called Gilead. And Mizpah, for he said, Yahweh watch between me and thee when we are absent from one another.
Okay.
If thou shalt afflict my daughters.
There you go. There you're talking about,
That's what
right?
he's talking about. Yes, sir. Or if thou shalt take other wives besides my daughters, no man is with us. See, Elohim is witness between me and thee. And Laban said to Jacob, behold this heap, and behold this pillar, which I have cast between me and thee. This heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to thee, and thou shalt not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm.
Okay.
The Elohim of Abraham and the Elohim of Nahor, the Elohim of their father, judge between us. And Jacob sware by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread, and tarried all night in the mount. And early in the morning Laban rose up, and kissed his sons and his daughters, and blessed them. And Laban departed and returned unto his place.
Praise Yah. Praise Yah. And that was through that intervention of Yahweh. Yahweh put his angel in that thing to bring peace and a good understanding. But they talked it out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Without violence.
Yeah.
And they reconciled.
That's right.
Whoa, wonder if we could do that as men in the 21st. We got all this knowledge and education. And among so-called Hebrews, Messianic Jews, sometimes we can't sit down and hear out the difference without becoming either violent or what's another word for that? Violent or totally emotional and disagreeable.
That's right. Disagreeable.
So you can't even talk like men to come to a resolution.
They're not walking by the Spirit. It's a bunch of feelings.
Oh well.
And they feel it.
Exactly.
If we're men, we can talk.
Right. And I think that's what Yahweh is expecting us to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said this earlier. This is the instruction. These are the examples, right? You talked about.
Yeah.
This is an example. This is some deep stuff. This is some deep conflict.
Deep stuff.
And most of the time, we got petty differences. It's not even magnified or nothing. But this conflict here was deep. The man's daughters are involved. One brother been working 20 years, and wages been taken 10 times. And, you know, and just, you couldn't even greet my kids. He said, no, but for Yahweh getting involved in this thing, you would have sent me with nothing. So, but in the end, let's separate. You go your way, I go my way. Now listen, you hit that about them dollars again. You're right. What did you say?
Oh yeah, he said don't take. He made sure that you
I like
right with my daughters, man.
I like Obi said,
so those are the conditions. Yeah, those are the conditions, man.
That's it.
Laid out on the table.
Yeah. And that's what Yahweh wanted.
Yes.
Now isn't that right? And that's what Yahweh wanted. You got what you need right here. You got you got these 12. It's not 12 yet, right?
It was 11.
It's 11. But you know,
it was 12 children.
12 children.
But it was 11 sons.
11 sons. And we know Joseph.
But it's Joseph.
Joseph's 11th son, and then he's not born yet. Joseph's brother. What's his name? Benjamin.
That's right.
Benjamin. So, but then he loved that wife, and he's gonna love them children by the wife he loved.
That's right.
And we're gonna see that down the line.
That's right.
But with that, brothers and sisters, we're going to, I think, end our Sabbath class discussion today, which was entitled Yaakov, the Covenant Continues. And we will, Yah willing, we'll be continuing our discussion of the book of Genesis. And as you can see, we're going that we see that holy seed is being developed and laid out. So with that, I'm going to formally end the Sabbath class discussion right now. And so as we normally do, and I'm going to allow the brothers as we do, any closing comments and things you want to talk about or bring to our attention. And I guess we'll go to Elder Uriah to my left here.
Let's go and look at verse 35, you know. Yeah, and
what chapter?
The same chapter.
Chapter 31.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just, let's see a little thing here. I said I was going to bring it out. He said, and she said to her father.
What chapter you in? What verse you in? 21?
35.
I apologize. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And she said to her father, let it not displease my Adonai that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of woman is upon me. You know, it's like, well, look at what is the custom of woman?
Okay, you explain it. Right. Yeah. She's having her
a cycle. Yeah, and you know, and she's going through that cleansing period.
That's right.
That, you know, we need to keep away from women. Yeah, I know a lot of brothers that don't like it, but yeah.
But was she really on her cycle, or was that how she used that to keep from him searching on her camel?
Yeah.
She was very wise.
She was very wise, man.
Very wise.
But she wanted to stand up. He said, all right, give you a pass.
Yeah, I'll give you a pass this time.
But she was smart now.
Oh, man.
But you're right. That's what that was.
Yeah.
But that was the perfect thing to keep him off the trail.
Yeah, you see, she have to kind of not only cover herself, but she knows that Yaakov didn't know anything about that.
She heard the vow he just made.
He made a vow.
And if you find it with anybody, kill him.
That's true. She said, you don't put the death sentence on me.
And we know he loved because we're going to read later on how he separates his wives and his flocks and everything when he busts up on Esau later on down the story.
Brother, you get ready.
You know, so we're gonna see he made special preparations to make sure nothing didn't happen.
Okay.
You know, so we know that he didn't want nothing to happen to none of them.
Yeah, I know.
But
that's very interesting.
Well, you're gonna hold that which you cherish close. That's just the way we are.
Yeah. And
because you can't love everybody, you're gonna, especially in that situation, because that you only wanted one wife, but Yahweh had a whole. This is Yahweh's plan. Mm-hmm. The nation has to be fulfilled. That's right. He didn't know all of this was going to be jumping off.
That's right.
But he know blessings with him, right?
That's right.
Praise God.
The last thing is like, that's what all of us, I know we're teachers of the word, but especially to our listeners or our viewers, they need to try hard, and find, not only to find out, but to understand how Yahweh, put these things together.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful that we take our time.
Yeah.
That's why Yahweh, we start from the beginning. So, however the Spirit move us in these classes, in these Sabbath classes going forward, we've laid the foundation from the beginning, and you can hear these different things. So, Brother Obi, have you finished, brother?
Yeah, I'm through.
Praise God. Do you have anything else to say? Anything to say?
We covered all of the topics, and we covered all the stuff that the Spirit brought forth. We do apologize again for the technical difficulties that we had earlier. And we just ask for the listeners to continue to bear with us and continue to share. We appreciate all that's been Yahweh's given us a lot. And we're just grateful for it.
Praise God, brothers. We sure are grateful for that. We sure are grateful. Thank you, Brother Obadiah.
Praise God.
Praise God. And also, when holy days will get ready to come up.
That's right.
Fast upon us. I think we have the New Year. We're really keeping the New Year, celebrating the New Year. I think what date is that?
I think the 31st.
March 31st, 2022.
Correct.
And those dates are on the Facebook calendar. If you go to Facebook, and you can see those dates. And we're going to be obviously preparing for, after that, next month, the Yahweh's Passover. And so we're just thankful that Yahweh's given us the spirit to keep these holy days and to keep this holy day of this Sabbath. And with that, anything? Okay, do you have anything you want to say?
No, we were just looking at with the feast days coming up. They're fastly approaching us, but the 31st is going to be the beginning of the year.
Okay.
And then 14 days from that would be the Passover.
The Passover.
So
Hallelujah.
So we're looking at the 13th of April.
Okay.
And our days is posted on the Facebook, so we're going to repost it again.
Okay.
So the family will know.
Hallelujah. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
And
brother Uriah.
Yeah.
Again, praise y'all for you.
Praise
we brought you, Brother Obi. Praise y'all for you, brothers.
Yeah.
And hey, we all we can do is just be thankful that we are able to rejoice in this day. And with that, the keepers of the house of light are going to say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And keep the remainder of the day holy until we see you next Sabbath.